Hello everybody, Decaff here. This is my first supplementary video. This is going to go after my 7th tutorial. This is showing you some different things about the text that you may not have realized with just the first few introductory things that I showed you. First, as you can clearly see, I've got a few different fonts right now. Now, if you were playing around at all, you might have noticed that there is a font window down here where we can change things about the text. This is, I've loaded up 3 external fonts. This is the stock font up here, as it says. This is like the U.S. military text. I use this for my F-18 aggressors. I also use this for a lot of registration numbers, just because it works a little bit better than the stock text. This is an example of a Russian text that's also easy to get. And this is sort of an Arabic looking font that I got just to play around and see what it looked like. So you just need to have a font downloaded, a .ttf. It's a very common format for font downloading. You can go to any website, search Russian fonts or something like that on Google, and the first website will probably get you to what you need. Just remember that you need a .ttf, or a couple other font types will work, but TTF I know does work. So with this, I want to show you a few things about the fonts that make your font selection dependent on what you're trying to do. So if you're just trying to do a quick and dirty little text blurb, then the stock text works great. But I want to go ahead and show you something. I'm going to go ahead and convert both of these guys to objects, meshes. There we go. And I want to show you the difference between the number of vertices involved. Here it's very, very simple because it's a very blocky font, that there's very, very few vertices. Whereas in this, we have hundreds, if not 1,000 or more vertices in just this little blurb here. The more vertices that you have, the more complicated it is to deal with things. If I was trying to make a cut across to wrap this around a fuselage, it would be hard to pick out the individual pieces in here. I've done it. You can do it. It's just not fun. So different fonts will give you the different things that you can do. So let's undo that. Get these back to objects. There we go. I went back a little bit too far here. And let's take a look at some of the other things that we have available to us. Really, I just want to play around with this font box here, the font menu, just to show you the different types of things. We can do the justifications that we did last time. There's an ability to put a text on a curve. I have done it, but it's a little bit tricky. Once I figure out an ironclad way to do it, I will definitely show you guys how to do it, because it is very, very cool. But the things that I like to mess around with the most is the width. You can increase the width a whole bunch. The size is a very easy way to scale it without really just pressing the S key and scaling. The spacing is very useful, and so is shear or offsets and things like that. Word spacing, you can increase the space between the words. All these different functions here are very, very useful. When I make my Boeing repaints, or not repaints, but my Boeing paints for the 737 package, there are some aircraft where it just says Boeing 737-800 on it. And I like to use this font right here because it works for that. It's pretty much the same font, a little different, but the differences are slight. But you need to shear it and make it look realistic. And you can go ahead and type in any % shear that you want to put in here. It's pretty crazy the amount that you can do. So that's that. Let's go over how to actually use a font. So we're going to go ahead and make a new text object here, and I'm not going to type in anything special here, but right here we have the ability to load fonts into our system here. So what I'm going to do is go back to wherever I have, nope, I'm back a little bit too far, wherever I have my paint kit. Here we go, YS paint kit. And in it there are some fonts built in, and there are some for the US Air Force military style, but there's also some airline logos that are kind of neat. I want to show this off. You can get very decent logos here very easily just by typing in different things. Some of the older airline names, American West Airlines, yeah, that's definitely old. Alaskan Airlines here. Just try pressing different things. Either it's only the QWERTY UI up stuff. There's no shifts or alts or anything working here. It's a pretty cool logo there. So let's just stick with the world here, just to see how this works. Just out of curiosity, let's put this into a mesh just to see what goes on here. And we can see that there are a ton of vertices here. So if you're just trying to do a real pinch, get this wrapped around something, this might work. But I would not recommend trying to use a lot of these. As you can see, the more complex curves you get in your actual piece, the more complicated the vertices are. So that's how you go and import the different fonts. One thing that you want to be aware of is that, yes, you can change the fonts in the middle, but as soon as you close out of this window, go to another model, reopen this model, whatever, you're going to have to reload all these fonts back in. Now the fonts will stay whatever font they are, but you won't be able to, they won't be loaded up ready to use. You'll have to reload them back into the model. So that's just a little bit about this. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the section down below. Yeah, happy modding. Use this to your heart's content.